You can support the Robdons brand today by visiting our website reasonwithrobdon.com, shop merchandise, and check out the variety of items we have just for you and the family. Positivity, your support for quality.
Happy shopping!
Hey guys.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Good evening for those in the UK.
Yeah, night is 3 minutes past 10. Morning and evening to everyone. We just want to say good evening to you and welcome again to our program called Pillow Talk. And remember, this is where God is best for you and your
Partner.
All right, of course. So we keep God in the mix every time. We let God be the center of all our discussion.
The only third strand.
The only third strand. Yeah, really. So let's ask you at this time to go ahead and share the program. Invite them. Let them know that we're going to be on this evening. We want to be quick, snappy. We want to be on it right. We don't want to be long tonight. So we're going to invite you to go ahead and share the program. Invite others to come on over and join us.
Be the love angelist.
Yeah, love angelist.
It is season 3, episode 7. Is it?
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and share?
Grab your glass, a little wine, red, white, rose, sparkling, to cheers with the darling. Now get a pillow, live and padded. Clock into the couple's corner. Clock into the couple's corner. Everyone, yeah, it's time for pillow talk. Pillow talk, pillow talk. Pillow talk, pillow talk. It's pillow talk.
It's pillow talk. Listen, man. If you have a shit, what?
With the darling, now get a pillow, live and padded. Clock into the couple's corner. Clock into the couple's corner. Everyone, yeah, it's time for pillow talk. Big pillow talk, pillow talk. Big pillow talk, pillow talk. It's pillow talk.
We're gonna do this one last. If you're again, alongside Robdons, let's go.
Grab your glass, a little wine, red, white, rose, sparkling. Cheers with the darling. Now get a pillow, live and padded. Clock into the couple's corner. Clock into the couple's corner. Everyone, yeah, it's time for pillow talk. Big pillow talk, pillow talk. Big pillow talk, pillow talk.
should I go and do it one more time? Yeah.
Grab your glass, a little wine, red, white, rose, sparkling, to cheers with the darling. Yeah. Now get a pillow, light and pat it. Clock into the couple's corner. Clock into the couple's corner. Everyone, yeah, it's time for pillow talk. Big pillow talk, pillow talk. Big pillow talk, pillow talk. It's pillow talk.
Pull up. Chat mouth. All right. So this evening we have a topic to talk about this evening, and I want to have some votes because somehow I think the man them are going to win this evening. Man them are going to win. What do you think we're talking about this evening, people? What do you think we're talking about? No, anytime the man them come on board, the man them are going to win. You know, we just are going to win. One thing we're talking about this evening. Yeah. Anybody want to guess? And anybody want to guess what you think we're going to talk about this evening?
It's on the thing.
Them not watch, you know?
See there, woman, always on top.
The art
The
of listening.
art of listening.
The art of listening.
That's it.
It sounds like it don't come natural. It's like you have to learn it. Now, when it comes on to relationship,
Yeah.
only thing listen the most. I'm not going to chat.
Wee.
All right, I'm going to look for Robdon and my lovely wife up here. Of the two of us, yeah, I'm going to make sure nobody have no bias thing, you know.
You see Kimberly.
Man, them, you know. Look
Woman,
here.
that's what I'm going to say.
Watch out now. No, look
My
at me.
sister just come in to save the day.
Look at me and Daniel. One thing listen the most. Watch out, can't even keep a straight face. Alicia is smiling. Who do you think listen the most?
Me.
The person who make the most nice cards. This who said Daniel.
You see?
Serena, you don't know Daniel.
You see, family.
I
don't
think-
take our water.
I think you guys have been separated for too long. Not that I'm sorry.
But we
'cause
talk almost every day.
Yeah, but that no means that them know you. Them no man not supposed to know
We
me
grew
like
together, so
that was then. When
me
them
change?
think them know you.
me change.
Honey, Jesus. Yo, like really?
See it there? Me.
Yes. Really? Oh, no. You look at this. I believe you see. No, I know some people are just doing virtuous signaling, but I can tell you this.
You
No,
listen more than me?
by far, only hearing and listening aren't the same thing.
I
you
know that.
That's what we're going to see. Because
I listen actively.
you do.
Mhm.
Well, no, there are
I allow you to speak.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, good job. I think you're. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what? Let me not say anything more. No, there are days when it is more sensible for the man to be able to like him like girl.
You see that?
No.
What do you mean?
We have to do it. No, yeah. There are some days if you want peace, you have to just go and like you don't hear some things. But that does not mean that we're not listening. I think the men are more inclined to listen than the women are. Most times I think women can become quite high pitched. You know, so woman have a stick. only me don't know if let me not say you. Let me just turn my back so nobody think that you bad. I'm not talking about my wife.
Let me turn my back to.
And you ladies and gentlemen in the comment section, help me out, because I want somewhere to sleep tonight. But
The coach.
the coach, you see, I have coach business now. Sure. But honey, yes, the woman them skill, like Jesus.
Oh, is Mr. Butter.
You can tell you can tell a woman something, and you answer a long time, and it's like you're not all what you say. She just keep on and go on and on and on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, I submit to you in that time. Those are the times when you just need to make sure go on until you can try. Tell her, honey, I feel like sometimes you drive down the highway and fly past your stop.
Well, I need to turn your back. So we are pointing over here.
Let me turn my back for you. I think that sometimes women are like a vehicle driving on a highway, and them reach the finish line and realize them did it. Them fly gone through it.
I think women will speak a lot when things are not in place. You can tell the truth that the most times you'll hear me talking is when things out of place. Outside of that, I'm a good listener. But I can't take the disorganization. Me, I gotta be honest. When the place is disorganized, I can't.
No, I don't think that's...
My listening kind of cut off.
No, I don't think that's just it. I think it's on any... I think women, it's just general issue. It's like you can fly past the stop, like we answer, and it come like you really not think so we did answer you. And you're not know what we say. And you just keep on.
How much time people talk to men and them they're right in the room and them absent?
We're not absent.
Oh no, ignoring.
Not ignoring.
What is it?
Wisdom. You see? Well, listen to me. I know. I wear the man them there. You know, help you out now. Because right now I feel...
See, that seriously is true.
Right now I feel intimidated.
The lady P says she agree.
Right now I'm intimidated. I have a woman beside me, a pure woman by the screen. And this is just all intimidation. We can't even learn to express ourselves. That's the same thing, Like...
But there is truth to what I'm saying.
Truth? No. I think sometimes you women become more instructive than listeners. Like... I don't want to teach everybody. Like, I'm just like, yeah. Sometimes I have to just wheel back in a mirror and say, yo, Robdon, you are the Lord leader and you're the Lord choice servant.
You have to send a call Mr. Chambers. I'm a general name.
And turn around and say, honey, yeah, you know what? Yeah, calm down. You all right? Calm down.
And half the time, when you tell me to calm down, why?
Yeah, because
disorganization.
You fly right past this.
Because disorganization, that is if the place organized, be quiet.
No, but that's a discussion between you and your children. And sometimes you think me not listen to the fact. Me just feel like
me and my 3 children. Must me and my 3 children. The big one and the 2 small ones.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get right along because I see all these women. I know none of them rush me up this evening. So look, no man is not on here.
Sorry.
I'm sorry for you.
Only Mr. Bonner.
and she's saying that. See, yeah. One to your man. Big up. Yeah. Serious. So me feel safe now. The role.
That's our role, though.
That's our role, though.
When we don't, you all think something is wrong with us.
Like
really?
Yeah, but But like you guys have to be 100 every time. We can be 10%, you know, like we can be 15%. Some days we can just be 3%.
What did Keisha Bailey say?
Keisha said, I agree with you 100. Okay, see, me have one next bucket.
No, she said, Keisha Bailey, I agree with you 100%. So what is it that Keisha Bailey said? Yeah, that boy, yeah.
Well, Keisha, yeah, man, listen more. But don't hear.
Yeah. Put you up on the screen.
Keisha, you get 50%. You get 50. You get 50
Oh,
out.
God.
I think the truth is, as men, I think we have to have selective hearing. I think we listen, but we have to know, you know, listen means you internalize the thing, you know.
You're reflective.
Yeah. And sometimes we can't internalize everything we want to say, no? We can't internalize we can't internalize your attitude every time. Because we got us burst. So me have like have selective hearing. Me choose to hear. Me choose to hear what I need to hear. Like, yeah. Selective hearing. Let me see what's going on here. People laughing. Man only hear two things.
What they hear, Lady P?
Lady P! I want to hear. Yes, sir. Of course, Mike have to listen more to it. I know that. I just think it's in our nature. You see, it's in our. This is something that you all think. You think we have to always talk for sure, so we hear, which we don't. I think men are quite reflective beings. We just don't try to be soft. We're not soft up before. But everything you say doesn't matter. And when we find our little circle, we go. Sure. Me hear more than that. But I do think, and that's just the thing. Well, we have a couple who's ready to reason with us, because, you know, me just know say, yeah, they're gonna come.
Don't log off.
No, you can't log off.
Yeah.
You start the problem. You have to work on the thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to submit to you. It is my thing. I believe men listen way more than women. All when the woman them stop talking and go and like them and listen, halfway down the conversation them but it is, and them not you're not the way you say. You know, sometimes it's better when the man them, man. Sometimes it's better you just when you see look like you know them not hearing,
you know,
don't provide no explanation.
You
just
know,
stop
a part
talking.
of listening is really paying keen attention to words and certain things that are being expressed by the person who is talking.
So then that
and if uno say uno listen, remember say you have selective hearing. If uno say uno listen, even if sometimes you might come across the message, but God forgive us sometimes. Forgive me. But I mean, there are some key words where if you're really listening, some of the problems that
so
may be experienced. I did not say sign language. I said if you listen keenly to some of the words that are being expressed, then some of the things can be avoided in future.
I think women need to state their mind. I'm going to give you 10 paragraphs and those who want to want. I'll know. And we get bored of listening. Because
you hear the good listener, the better listener?
Because sometimes...
You know, say even when my brain tired, if you open your mouth and start say something, listen.
Nice to know. It's really nice to know. Mm-hmm. But anytime I'm gonna give you the but class, you know, makes sense we better argue with them. Makes sense we just stop that.
Hey, Jesus.
Because you're not always say. You're still gonna pick up right at the but class. Mm-hmm. And that's what I have come to see. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to stop talking before my wife starts.
You see that? But
attentive listener,
You're supposed to be able to summarize and paraphrase.
No, that's the problem. The paragraph not done. Like, we get the point, but it's still a one. So, it just never done. So, all right. Yes, on it, done. All right, I get you, I learn. Men are quick learners. Look at this. Lady need the racial listening. When it's
emotional. Emotionally matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me invite our guest this evening. This evening we are so glad to have again joining us, Mr. and of course Lady Bonner. Lady Bonner is a relationship coach, so I go and make she come in and talk about the subject. And
let's hear what she has to say.
Let's hear what she has to say. But as usual, I don't know it's couples corner, so they have to come ready for nice up the corner because like how me and my wife talk for an evening. And we don't come to an agreement yet because my wife not listening. She not hearing me say that men listen more. So we are going to get ready to invite in the place our wonderful guests. But how better to do it than to play one of our lovely Luther Vandross. No, Lady Panam, you have got proof to it, say you're listening.
Hey, boy.
Commitment them and dedication requires something special.
Really? I want some wine or some ice water.
I know.
Oh, you're right. But you got the one at the back of the one though, but we'll leave that for after the show.
After the show.
After respond, we need to know that you are listening actively. So all them words that will come out a while ago, you have to respond actively.
That's right.
I'm listening.
I am listening. You listen?
No, but if you listen, you have to respond. That's one of the things with communication. After listening, there must be feedback. So there was a conversation happening a while ago. So there must now be a feedback. You must, that's how we know that people actually listen, when there is a proper and appropriate feedback.
Well, the appropriate feedback is I hear you and understand all the words that you're trying to sing a while ago, and the whole works, and all of this talking about, who is the more active listener, and the whole works. It is gonna be a conversation this evening, and so I appreciate being here, Mr. Bonner. You listen more than me, or me listen more than you? Is it?
My ears are so big like jumbo. I listen. I pay attention.
I'll know Mr. Banner. I'll know she not respond yet. And
I'll know she not respond. I'll know.
Really?
I said when you talk, I said I hear me. I'm going to wait to come online.
Yeah.
Miserably.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does miserable have to do with active listening?
But
I know.
Yeah. We
So
want
why you take off the glasses?
because I'm not hearing properly, so I have to take off the glasses. And
you see, maintaining eye contact is very important. You can't see good there.
Mrs. Banner, we have beg your little action, yes, because since you have to respond with action. Sometimes listening requires you to do.
Yes.
So if you have people listening, you have to do something to make we know so you actually are listening. Sometimes we want to know say you care and what we say register. So it have to follow up with action. So we
That's right. That's right.
So you thought that there was no response going on here? There are some responses they cannot see publicly.
Yes, but but Mr. Banner wants something we can show it later. The man them say we like something we can tell our friends say you see.
That's right. You can boast about it.
Some things you can't discuss with your friends.
No.
You can't discuss.
Right.
So you want a response? You want a response to what
Yes.
you just said a while ago?
That's right.
Alright, let me give you a response.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
You okay? Yeah, did you hear anything that I said?
I hear you loud and clear. I'm a listener.
Okay, lovely.
She just proved my point. You know, see how long it would take a woman if it.
No,
It's so long.
because you want something different. There's a lot of things going on in the background.
No. You see, the way I listen, as it said, I just act. See?
Yeah. That's why you know the man them they are ahead this evening.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's good to have again with us this evening. Lady and of course Sir Bonner. And I've already put the proposal out there, so we're just going to go on with the discussion. Yeah, Sir Bonner, me here you have a lot to say from beginning. You have back my whole heap. Who is it that listens more? Is it you or is it Kimberly?
Me. No joke. I listen.
Yeah.
I like to listen. I just say, okay, speak what is on your mind.
Yeah, and just sit down there and just listen.
And just listen.
Yeah, just
And I don't just sit down, and just listen as if, okay, I want to radio me and listen to. But you can't respond to a radio.
You
right?
provide feedback.
I provide feedback. But funny enough, sometimes when she don't want, it's like when she says something and what she want to hear, I have to tell her the truth. So, as an example, most time when she coming from work and the whole work stress, and she said, Desmond, this and that, and she start, me say, as much as sometimes it's kind of overwhelmed, I'm gonna listen and just give my input, and when she done, most times I give her a kiss and say, all right, baby,
Yeah.
just take it easy. Nobody make it get to your head. Right.
Cool. Hey, Sir Desmond, you're right. What time you have to walk up in that kitchen?
Give that kiss. I say, cool down, man. Cool down.
Calm down. Yes.
They can't talk, It's on silent.
No, we're listening.
Thank you
Oh,
very
you're
much.
listening.
The beauty about
Okay.
active listening is that you
Okay.
give the other party the opportunity to speak their mind.
Okay.
It's not necessarily for you to respond at the moment. Sometimes people just want to be heard.
So what they're saying now, we like to talk? That's what they're saying?
We didn't say that. We were speaking about listening right here.
My wife can move from 0 to 100 quickly. Like she's good right here. Nice, everything is great. She can just trip to 100.
Why? Why?
Yes, why? What's the trigger?
I don't think that a why really matters. It shows you how skillful we are.
Yes.
At listening, observing, and
see?
understanding. So because we know that you can move from 0 to 100, we intervene with the right response. And that's why we're saying we're listening. Because if we weren't listening, we know that blow off the outside. Because some days my wife come like a ticking bomb, just boom.
True.
You know that
True.
there is a difference between hearing and listening.
But we could not respond appropriately unless we actually listened actively to what you're actually saying.
But you can be hearing actually, and your response is not warranted at the moment because the response that you give may not be an empathetic one. And so you respond because, all right, you probably want the person to just, all right, hurry up and don't talk. Or this is not really what I wanted to hear from you at the moment. And so you are telling me something. And yes, I'm saying I am listening. And we use those words interchangeably. Listening different from hearing. I am watching the TV, but I am listening to you, honey. Yes, good. I am listening, honey.
They're speaking of themselves.
No, dear, I don't. We're good. Come on now.
She's speaking of herself.
No.
But aren't they the same ones who claim to be able to multitask?
All
You
right.
see,
Yes.
Not
yes.
in the talking
Yes.
aspect of things.
You know what the
You
problem
know-
is? Let them start to clean the house. I don't want to say something to them. Not no, honey. You're so busy. I'm doing something. Honey. Not no.
Because we would not be giving you active attention.
You see, if we doing something and they come to us to say something and we not respond, you know, hear me talk. Hold on. I myself me talk to.
So then one party has demands urgent
Yes.
listening, but
Yes.
but that same party will put off talking for a later time, because is it that they find something that they are presently doing as more interested to them or more necessary than actually hear what you have to say at the present moment?
Right. And that is female and not old. Sorry. That is female and not old.
You want to see a dirty house, though?
You see?
I'm cleaning the house. Would you want to see a dirty house?
So why when we're doing something we must stop? I am practicing and she talking to me. Desmond, you know, they can practice later. Me I talk to you now. And I have to stop.
Pause the move, you know, see I'm talking right now.
Right.
Yes.
You see, they are silent. You see it?
I'm not silent.
Look at the ladies. They are silent.
But we must get attention.
we're just allowing you guys to speak.
Exactly.
All right.
We're just allowing you guys to speak.
And here, Lady Alicia is putting it up. Women like attention.
That's true.
And even if it means I need to, it's as if we must treat their feelings or what they're interested in with urgency and immediacy. But when it comes onto us, our thing can always put off.
You know what? I want to say something.
Okay.
We are easy to
She's
express
so
ourselves.
eaten.
We
Yes.
You see, I'm
Yes. Give her a kiss. Give her a kiss.
chance.
Give her a kiss. Give her a kiss.
we
Cool her down.
will come, Mr. Bonner.
Ah.
We will come and we'll be saying something, right? Uno hardly talk. Uno love internalize. And for me, I don't know about other ladies, but for me, if I am doing something and you come in, because I know that you're not the one to speak up, and you can testify to this. Sometimes I'm doing something, I'll stop and I'll listen. I will not have nothing to say.
Are you glad for you, me talk? Yes!
So it depends on the situation. So Mrs. Bonner will be cleaning and she just feel like she can't stop the vacuum because it's going to leak out.
So like
So-
you're guilty.
Jesus.
Yes.
So
Yes.
she just finish vacuuming and then talk.
Just let me done now. But
Yes.
I need your attention now.
Well, on, you ever come to me for talk and me say, when me done first?
Enough time. Enough time. But
What? You don't see your face?
yeah, like
When?
yeah, Sarah, why you bother me for no?
Shava, lie! I'm the prayer for you. You know, that's not true.
On today that only come do this for me now. No, you don't see the risk. my
No,
body.
listen. Do what? You want to copy something
But-
over here, so to put in the
You
read.
see,
You over there, so want to copy something. That cannot listen.
yeah, but sometimes our call for listening, you know, because men want women to become interested in a thing that is totally foreign to you. And
We
boy,
understand that.
Where?
come and
What foreign to me?
and sometimes
Forward a message foreign to me?
yeah, and sometimes that is no, but sometimes you see this what I talk about now, you see them now listen them.
Nah, listen. See it? Perfect example.
We are give good directives here and they're not listening. It's true.
I'm listening. I'm listening. We're listening. Fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. For you, it sounds simple. Yeah, no. A little copy. No, but that is gonna open up room for me to talk about some other things. You see? No, Lady P, I'm not going down a rabbit hole. I am trying to make it clear, but my wife is not. See, right now we're becoming intimidated because because all these women are just on us. Gosh, guys.
No, but
Nobody's on you.
Yeah.
You
Listen,
should have, what you should have been sure is that the men are here. We brought the ladies.
don't worry, we can defend ourselves.
yeah, but we stand up and talking. Yeah. So yeah, but honey, sometimes a simple thing like that is our introduction. Now, people don't know. I sound like a very person who is always maybe talking and outgoing. But if you really, really know me, you know something don't even come out of my house. You know that I don't really engage and go out there. I'll come home and I'll have the world going on. But I'm not the first to come and initiate the conversation into terms of everything. And if you ask me if everything all right, me guarantee you, I'm going to say everything all right.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes.
Yeah. But we need you to listen to what we're not saying.
When we say yes,
Now you touch something right there.
Right. So when I call you to copy the message, sometimes it's those awkward things that when you come quickly, you get us to say other. Is that they're laughing?
Jesus.
You get us to say other things, more delicate things. That's why you must treat all our, treat every occasion as urgent.
Yes,
Like
that's right.
Treat it like urgent. I need to hear
Listen,
what you're saying.
when have you asked me to do something
So may I listen?
and it went into you going into other things that you
Enough
wanted to express?
Enough time. I start talking about things where when remember that's why you start love politics. That's why you start getting interested in current affairs and those things, because that's my way of weaving you in.
Not by asking me to do things like that.
But seriously though, may not necessarily apply to all situations. But what I'm saying is that most times though, in a relationship, effective communication, one partner might not be very comfortable or might not find it easy. I don't want to say comfortable. They might not find it easy, and it doesn't have anything to do with it. It could just be their own personality, their own social background or upbringing. Yeah, exactly. And so they're not necessarily going to talk about everything. My wife comes from a background with a father who talk about everything. So my wife is always, she'll tell us straight what the pan for your mind. That's the background she comes from. I'm from a background where we rarely talk about nothing. Like, we can't really remember slow have one real good conscious discussion on anything where, that, intimate to me, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But, so sometimes in a relationship, effective communication is also reading what persons are not saying. So the non-verbal aspect of communication. Because sometimes a person is really calling you to do something. And maybe it's just an opening to say what is really on their minds, right? And so sometimes we always think that listening is when persons are actually verbalizing things. But what about those times when, it's just your interest they want that is going to open them to share comfortable on a subject or something? I think that's the point I'm actually making. Maybe I've had some poor examples and come on to my wife. I'm trying to use some poor examples, but that's really what I'm driving at.
Yeah.
So communication then should not be limited to what people are saying, but to what they're actually not saying. For you to be able
to reading the body language, the facial
reading the body language, when you
even
see,
withdrawal,
exactly, and all those call to urgent move. it could be a sign that, hey, your spouse is ready to talk about something. Chances are, if you came and you did something with them while doing it, let's say I came I call you to help me to do something and I'm doing it, it might spur to a discussion, and you'll probably hear something from me that I would not normally sit down and say. And so the point I'm trying to make here then is that in effective communication, we have to create environments that are conducive for listening. People don't just express themselves in any old setting. Sometimes people, it's like you need a kind of setting in order to have that kind of conversation. And again, the other thing that we have to remember in communication is that every spouse is unique. So for one person, you can prepare a nice dinner and set some candle and them talk for an hour till tomorrow. But for another person, that might not work. So then it now means then that you have to learn your own partner. And I think that's why one of the things that Paul had in mind when he said, "Wife, submit to your own husband," because a part of submission is going to talk about listen to your own husband, so that you develop that kind of technique, that quality to respond to that person's need. And I think that is calling you to know your spouse on a more intimate basis rather than know your spouse just as a man, so to speak. Because generally we know this about men, but what about your spouse, so to speak? That's probably the point I'm trying to make.
We got your point. And that is so true. When you speak about the active listening, because I love the word in it, because listening and actively listen is two different things. Just listening on the beer, that's just on the surface. No, when you're actively listening to someone, is that we have the gestures that will be used, because you're gonna have paraphrasing and the whole words that is going to take place, because you want this person. Sometimes we often want to listen to respond, and that's not necessarily at the moment. The person just wants to unload, and you have to know when learning about your spouse over time, then it's going to teach you that. You know that, okay, then time, okay, my husband just want to unload. Him don't really want me to give him a directive about what to do. He just want to unload what is on his mind, because he's thinking about something. And by virtue of talking to me, and I'm saying, okay, so you mean they think they're so is over there, say they want, but you never reach because of so and so. In that case, yes, that's exactly. And by doing that, he may definitely solve the problem. So when we think of active listening, it's not necessarily to respond to what the person is saying, but it can be a means of just letting the person know, okay, then I am here for you. And the thing that what it does for relationships is that it puts you together more than apart, because considering your spouse as a friend is what is going to help and bring that active listening in place, because I'm thinking of my spouse as my best friend. So you know for sure, anything call me my best friend across the road, or she there around town or something. When we meet up, is a unloading type of thing. Girl, you know where you did miss from how long, blah blah. Not necessarily to solve a problem, but once you have your spouse as that best friend, and you make yourself available too, to be your spouse's best friend, you know that okay, when they come and you probably see, as you would rightly say, you probably say, "Oh, help me to do this," but truth be told is that there's something else that you really want to speak about, and so you're probably just getting their attention from what they're currently doing, so as to get them to the space of paying you some attention at this point and all of that. And it helps, because you're speaking somewhat in as it relates to the subject, because we often think of submission as something of enslavement. Because once we hear that, who submit who what? You're crazy? No. Why me not feel, right? But the thing about it is I'm in a relationship, and I call it, I love to say relationship is a big ship, is a big thing, So so when you're going on one ship, there are different compartments. Now when you're in our relation one, say compartment them. Some of the compartment are like Bible. You have to go flip the pages, you go find the next chapter and the whole works, and it brings some level of empathy, letting this person know, because at the end of the listening, it's that this person is gonna feel like, yeah, the person who is listening to me is actually really paying attention to me. I am of value to them. So
And
that's kind of
Yeah.
And I think the other part I want to point out, and I'm going to comment on something you said there, Kimberly, is that posture in listening is also important. You come to someone, but your posture communicates that you're not interested.
Right. You have to acknowledge the person.
Acknowledge. Yeah, I'm here to help. Like, I'm all yours. Do that, baby.
Take me as I am, and not as a banana.
Right. It's like, I'm all yours. Like, I find you important, and I find what you are saying as important. Sometimes your spouse know you don't have the answer to it. Like, if something happened to me at work, you can't do nothing about work. I'm at work.
That's why I'm just listening.
Exactly, but you can't do nothing about it. So we know this, so we don't come to you for solution. Just
listen.
Yeah, we just want you
Listen.
overly interested into what is happening to us, and that brings a sense of assurance. So these are some of the things we have to look forward. So that's to sum up what I think Kimberly is saying, and that's why I'm going to say I think. Because through active listening, you see, the listener is going to give feedback as a way to better understand and clarify what the spouse is actually saying. So there must be some space in it for me to find out. Did I hear you properly? Is this
Right?
Repeat it, because sometimes I think that's where misunderstanding comes into a relationship. Because I can hear something different from what you're trying to say.
Totally different.
And sometimes the spouse have trouble expressing himself too, or herself. And so it's good to say, so this is what I hear you say. Is that
what you're trying to say? Yeah.
And that's active listening. That's saying you're taking in everything I'm saying. What I'm smiling. Yeah, baby. I think everything I got even better after tonight. The way my wife, I look like the posture girl. So the listener then is validating what their spouse is actually saying, and then helping the spouse to feel a sense of being understood, or being close, or being connected. Hug me up, man. Sure. You can be talking to somebody, and if your spouse, and it feels like you're talking to a total stranger. It's like it not connect. It becomes difficult. But you're trying to put yourself in a place that, girl, you feel. I feel you weren't in the meeting, but I felt like you were there, girl. You did not read the message, but I feel like you're there. And that does not mean that, if I have a poor understanding, or let's say I did something bad, that doesn't mean that there's not space for you to share that correct position on the thing. What's important. Blessing to you, Lady Alicia. Nice having you. Thank you for joining. Yeah, and Lady P saying that's why paraphrasing and summarizing are important.
You said that earlier.
As well in communication. Yeah, man, absolutely. And she says also, when you do those two things, the speaker understands that you acknowledge. I think respect, and I also hear interest, and I hear care, and I hear compassion, and how do you know that some of the persons we have spoken to concerning relationship, that this is what I think that is happening. Why I feel like them actually listen. Yep. I mean, hear what I say. but it doesn't come across like, hey, what I said was important. Like it matters to you. And that's what I think needs to happen in active listening. It's like saying, girl, what you're saying matters to me. It's important to me. I care about what you're trying to say. You care about what I'm trying to say. And in converse, the same thing. I care about what you're trying to share with me. I think that's what active listening must come down to. Feeling like my spouse care. Babes, may I talk to you right now, and girl, we just feel like you care. Just I watch them. I watch them smile and I looking at my eyes. And I feel like it matter. So yeah, ladies, we're talking about active listening tonight. The importance. Oftentimes when we talk about communication, people just get into the talking business, sharing what going on in my business. But there's more to communication, because I can be saying a lot, but you're not hearing nothing I'm saying. You're not listening. So this is why we have decided to unpack active listening and just look at it. All right, guys, feel free to chime in and talk with me as we go through whenever you're ready. Yeah. But yes, just to reiterate that active listening, yeah, the listener must ensure that you heard what the person said accurately, and you're also interpreting. And I said this is going to fight against misunderstanding. It's very important. It also reduces, as I said, the chance of further disagreement. That is very, very, very important. We talk about active listening, right? Now, let's talk about when one spouse upset, because they're not good days. How do I listen when the spouse is upset, and especially if the spouse is upset at me, something I have done? You hear my wife talk about our three baby, a big one and two little one. How do I, as the individual, effectively listen at this time? Because sometimes when it's not too bad in terms of other things, it's easy to listen. But your spouse deserves to be listened to at all times. So even when they must say some things where you never want to say.
All right. I have all right, you make some points there, right? In terms of listening. Now, let me tell you, sometimes listening, as I said, can be very misunderstanding after what you're trying to explain. All right, let's use me as an example and my wife. I might have something in my head, but to bring it across, she interprets it different. Now, sometimes my wife tried to interpret it the way or she have it and bring it back across to me when I'm saying, no, don't steal my story. This is my story. You don't take away my story. So let me talk my story now. So she might get upset at me and say, but this is what I said. No. This is my book I'm writing. This is not yours. So let me speak about it. If you don't understand me now, you ask a question and I will explain it to you, what I'm trying to say. But don't tell me what I am supposed to say. And I think that is one of the biggest problems in a lot of relationships as well. Because I have a friend that's still like that. He and his wife are having an issue. So he's trying to explain something to her, which she's telling him what the conversation should be. And I'm saying, but she can't tell what your conversation unless she'll feel I go through it. So she must listen to you. Or she will tell you how you feel. Right? So I always say to my wife, if I pinch you, I cannot tell you what you are feeling. only you can tell me what you are feeling. I can say I pinch you soft, but you say no, you pinch me hot. And I can say, but I pinch you hot. And you say, no, you barely pinch me. Which the truth is, listen, how are you feeling, hon? As I said before earlier in the conversation, well, further down, when Kim come home from work, or most times I'm on the road with her in the day, and she might experience something where it makes her very overwhelmed for the day, and I say, all right, I'm listening, and I'm not gonna tell no lie, me will listen but don't respond. Right, because what she's saying I can't bear it as well, because it's too much for me with her work. So I will listen and she say, yeah, hear me? Sure. Sure, yes, man, talk, baby. I am hearing everything what you're saying. But the truth is, me I listen, but me not. But me I listen, but me not listen. Right? I just want her to express herself. I just want her to express herself.
Me send in an article, Cause you see, I me send in an article, cause see, them ladies are listen to hear what them need to hear. You see my wife finger them talk up same.
Yeah, man, make she listen. But the truth is, sometimes I stop and say, that is what happened today at work. And she said, yes. I'm saying, all right, so what you plan to do? And she solve it. What you plan to do? Well, she plan to do this. I'm saying, all right, well, if you feel within yourself that is what you need to do, well, fine, go ahead and do it. I do not tell her what to do. I don't push it on her and say, do that. Do, no, no, no. And let she work it out, right? I said, tell me what you have planned. She tell me what I have planned. I said, that's what you have planned? You sure? Think about it some more.
Yeah.
Even with her wife club, when she come to me and tell me what she's doing with her wife club, I said, that's what you want to do? She said, yes. I said, well, tell me your idea. She tell me an idea. I may not know most of it, but I say, all right, is that what you want to do? Yes. All right. What are the ups and downs in it? When she tell me, I say, all right, do some more research about it and then see if that is what you really want to do. And when she do her research, she come back and tell me. Now I listen. I say, all right, fine. I am not going to dictate to you because I can't dictate to you with your own plans. Because you know your plan good out. So, all right, that's what you do. That's what you want to do. Fine. Go ahead. I will back you in that. So I back her.
Another.
I say, man, why you set yourself up, the boy?
No, no. I don't set myself up. No.
That is something. You speak about it. You will tell you that's for sure because in light of my work, it's actually, it's social work. So we deal with children and the whole aspect of abuse and you can deal with it. So therefore, you will always say, hon, I'm going to listen, but really and truly, I'm not going to take in everything because if you stress about it and me stress about it, then nobody can help each other. So for me, even though I tell you that, then he would have explained it to me. Why? Because sometimes I come in and I'm talking and all, yes, and you see him doing something and I say, hi. My dad talk to you so you can hear what I say. And then
sometimes.
And he will be like, yeah, man, me here. But then they want to see him draw back for the phone and him start search for some equipment, something. Me know, so I say, hi. You are feeling, when you are talking, me not gonna listen then. So sometimes he will be like, remember, tell your spot, me can't deal with it. So me know you want to hand over, you can just know something right here, so just look at me like I'm a mannequin. And so a mannequin just stand up here, so and you just talk. So me say, no, man, but my wife, you at least you say, all right.
And I did say
and yes. Because of that, now you would just start to say, all right. Me say, aye, you sound like it's a robot, just right round. But the thing is, it makes it different. The thing about it is what this does too, it's once you have had that communication with your spouse, so they know where they stand about certain things. Because even with listening and all, it depends, even bring back the conversation that you have and the space that you have those conversations. So and I will tell you, you see the whole thing of having disagreement. You ask a question about worse when you are the person at fault, and he the next person is grilling, because I can tell you about me. So I guess probably this is kind of a confession. You see, I feel as
Confess.
Stop it.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
I used to feel like, you see, if I am talking or saying something and he would be like, once I'm on top of my voice, because I have, once my voice start to elevate, then he would be like, him just start laugh, or him a play the music, or him a sing with this music, and him know him can't sing, right? And him a sing away, and that will get me mad. I mean, so mad. I remember at one point in time getting so mad to the point that they think to turn on the volume in the car pop out. Because they just feel like, say, you're supposed to hear. Why you feel turn up the song, And then you'll be like, Kim, we cannot have a conversation if you are behaving like that. But me say you wrong, or you like you want to shut me down. So if you want to shut me down and all of that stuff, if you like you don't want me to talk. Yeah, same attitude like I see me do my face. I see me, yeah.
Same way.
Me say, look here, like you don't want me to talk, and then you'll be like, it's not what I don't want you to talk. Your voice is on top of mine, and we cannot have a conversation like that.
That's right.
And for me, I'm like, you want to shut me down, and that's just how I felt at the moment. Now we have to say, when we are calm and collective, at one point in time, you would, used to record me in that moment. And you see, when good girl listen to herself, good girl have to say, damn girl, you never sound so right at all.
That's right.
So it started to help. But at first, I'm telling you, I felt like, and I would get, so now, I said, all right then, if so be, the nudging and the whole works, and he'd be like, Kim, you're getting a bit louder now. Kim, we cannot have the conversation any further. And, me probably just get a little bit silent. And worse, when I know me at fault, and all, me probably get a silent for a moment, and then you hear him now. You can know when somebody wrong, because you see some people, them silent all of a sudden, the conversation look like it done. And, you start dropping, look a word right there, so. And all, and then me probably be start, right out there and then me probably just bust out a laugh and something like that, and it helps. And what it does too for that, because I felt at that moment that just what it was. But truth be told, he was listening, yes, he was hearing, and sometimes yes, what I said he did not, fully grasp it, but then he was saying, all right, this is what I got. Like I would give an example, like about a week or so ago. Right, we're in the country, so the car was starting. So for me now, when I start the car and I think there's something, and I press on, so I rev it, and it was like, no, don't rev it, you're damaging the car, whatever. So another time again, I start the car, just little bit, just touch the gas, and it's something rev out. And now to him say, Kim, you are rev the thing, and me say, me not rev. Now what I heard was, you are revving. And me say, but me say, me not rev the car. Me not rev the car. And something not turn, it's something not move off same time. Me have to touch the gas, it not move. He be like, and I never say you are revving the car. And so me say, what that mean? Then what rev mean if I don't that way? And it would almost cause a big hullabaloo and all that, to the point that me come out and me say, you know what you do? You move the car, because it has me I rev the car and the whole 9 yards. And he be like, he said, all right, hon, when he see the calm and stuff like that, he come and he say, hon, can I ask you one question? Me say, I want to know. Right now, you must come, man. The time must done. Over 1 hour now since the whole incident happened. And the whole works, he was like, Kim, exactly what did you hear? What did you hear? I said, me hear you say that me I rev the car. And he be like, hon, that's not what I said at all. But because you heard that the first time when I corrected you,
that's right.
You think that that's what I said a while ago in this instance. That's not what I was saying. I was just giving a directive to say, no, once I touch it, it's going to rev. So all you need to do is search whatever. And he said, oh.
So we have a little problem with our transmission in the van. So when transmission act up to get its service and all of that. So say there are certain stuff that it not going in the gear into drive. You have to put it into low for it to. So we need to get our transmission service. So I said, do not rev it, because the person told me if you rev it, you can damage something in the transmission. So that is why But for me though, no, I'm not a hard talker. The best time for me is to speak to me calmly, and I will listen to you. Once you start to shout, and it's not me you're talking to, because I'm talking to you, I talk to you very soft and calmly, and I will say and move on, and I ensure that you understand what I am saying before we move on with a conversation. I don't talk one something and then jump to our next conversation. I said, no, 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 no. Let's end this part of conversation. Do you understand what I am saying? Yes or no? Before we move on to our next conversation. So if we said the tire needs to change, do you understand what I said the tire needs to change? If you don't, I will go back over the conversation to ensure that you understand.
And sometimes it takes
that
2
the
days.
the tire, talking about the tire. So you don't talk about the tire, then you talk about the steering, then you talk about that. No, 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 no. That's not me. Finish one conversation, talk about this one. When you get it, then we move on. That's how I do stuff. And that's how I try to tell my wife not to change her, but to say, listen, in a conversation, don't poke up a conversation. If you poke it up, it's like you're eating. If you poke up your mouth too much, you will end up throw up. So if you poke up a conversation, you will get nowhere in the conversation. So let's deal with a conversation one at a time, and then we good to go. She's a person like to blah, but I don't. I don't.
Tell ladies, I told that when we go tonight, you're going to agree that men listen more.
Yes.
Than before. So let's just reiterate a couple of the points that we did mention earlier. As we speak about the importance of active listening itself. One thing that came out is that active listening is not the same thing as giving advice.
Yes.
So while we might perceive ourselves as being helpful by giving instructions or explaining how to do something, our partner might interpret our behavior as our always needing to be right. And you see, sometimes we have to understand listening doesn't mean I need to have the answer. Listening
Right.
doesn't mean I need to have it right. And it doesn't mean that I am just so competent and my partner is so incompetent. So listening is just sharing that emotional space that, listen, I care about what you are going through, right? I'm going to stay here as long as it takes, as hard as it takes
Right.
to take you out, hear what you're going through. I'm going to express empathy towards you. And I want you to be I want you to be okay at the end of the particular day. So therefore, you see, we have to be careful then that we don't invalidate our partner. Because invalidation tends to make difficult problems worse in marriage. And so sometimes when we invalidate how each other feels, right, it makes it worse because people start feeling not important. People feeling as though you're too enough. You know everything. You know it all, and that is a difficult space to be in. So again, you want to make sure that you're monitoring that level of interest.
Right.
So just maybe ask yourself these things when you are checking to see if you are actually being active in your listening. Ask yourself, am I focused? Yeah? Am I focused on the thing that is being discussed? No. Right? So that's something. Is that where my mind is? And that might mean I need to put away the smartphone. Robdon, I hear it. So, sometimes I will put away the tablet. Sometimes I will pack up a sermon. So, people will love write sermons, pack it up, right? And dedicate this time. And as I said,
Yes.
posture is very important. So, am I displaying the right posture to communicate to the spouse that, hey, look here, I have interest in what you're actually doing? The next thing I say is to set your agenda aside. So, when you're interested in something or what in active listening, you're trying to let your spouse know that what you're going through is so interested to me that it's worth me putting everything aside so I can hear you out, hear what you have to say. And so that's an investment that is worth making in the marriage. We also need to be checking in with each other. So during the conversation, we said it earlier, you check in. Is this what I'm hearing? Am I hearing correct? Is this the right thing? And after you have done there, you might need to go back now and ask later on, how is things going? How do you feel now? None of this say you have to have the answer. And so none of it say I have to have any expertise in what Daniel is doing. And, I can't. I may not be able to make sugar and water. I now have no expertise in it. But we can check how she feel about making the water. I can ask if she have everything that she needs in order to make the thing. Do you have enough sugar? You have lemon? I can check around these things. So it's showing that I am still supportive. Yeah. I'm still interested in what you're actually saying. And then the last thing I want to say to you is see to it that you're not rushing in and trying to fix your partner's problem. I think that's we mess up a good listening by trying to Mr. and Mrs. fix it all. Like, don't rush in.
No.
And fix the problem. So those are some things we must consider when we talk about active listening. So how then, and here's my question, Kimberly. When I'm actually really irritated, is active listening still necessary? Am I worth listening to?
Yes, you are, because if you are with someone, right? So I'll use myself. I am the person who is angry at the moment, right? It warrants, because if the table should turn, once I am the person being upset and I'm expressing myself, then if the table should turn and my spouse is also upset, then it should warrant the same. I would want that attention. The most important thing in this, active listening process is being open-minded.
Yeah.
This not being open-minded can cause a good conversation, to just go downhill, just like that. Because I feel like, okay, it's my viewpoint, and because it's my viewpoint, your point is not valid. No, you are angry at the moment and you're expressing yourself, because the thing is, if you're actively dating, so when you are now married with your spouse, it means therefore the dating process should still continue, because you're getting to know your partner. No, if at this point they're not the person who is always angry or something and are behaving a particular way, listen beyond what the aggression as you are hearing it, because they're actually verbalizing. Because it's kind of the same way that you would say, as a social worker, and you will always say to a parent as it is to a child. There are some things when you realize the behavior of the child, look beyond the behavior itself and actually pick up what the underlying issue is. Sometimes the person is not even able to, at the moment, to express themselves in the calm way that they would really want to. But because of how they're feeling, the high sense of emotion at the moment, and they start to reel and all of that. Now, if you're actively listening, what is can get that person to calm down is the way in which you adjust your posture, the way in which you adjust yourself into this person. So am I going to, because you're on top of your voice, I'm going to get on top of mine too to see who can elevate the most? Or I'm going to say, hon, Me kind of get what you say, but you see, true, you get so angry over it, and you mean I can see the passion of how you're feeling at the moment and all. Make we just tone it down a little. I mean, because I'm gonna speak on myself, because if my husband had got toe to toe with me, thought the truth now, I would not be able to come and give that testimony today. Because if him did I go toe to toe and in voice and all, so I am being loud and him decide to get louder, and we see which octave can get higher, we would not be here. There would not be a relationship today, I can tell you.
Soprano, falsetto.
Soprano and falsetto for true. Right?
So we need to, in essence, Danielle is my wife anytime.
Thank you.
So when she's calm, she's still my wife.
Yes.
And when she's upset and irritated, she's still my wife.
Your wife.
And I am still in love with her, the person, even in this time. And I think that sometimes we miss that part and then we become selfish. Because most time when we get 2 for 2 back, selfish.
Yeah, man.
It's about me. No, you're still extending that care, that interest to the other spouse, someone that you want them to hear themselves out, listen them, but you're trying to arrive at a solution at some point. But also let the spouse know the thing you're angry about. It may not be what I think it is, but I still care about the fact that you're hurt over it, and we want to get to some peace and some resolution at some point. And so we have to remember that we shouldn't get selfish.
That's the word. That's the word.
Selfish comes when I want, all right, me need you if you hear what me I say. All right? And so now it becomes about me rather than here. And my father always put it this way. Somebody has to bail the cat.
Yes.
Someone has to bail the cat. And if your partner is upset, chances are you have to bail the cat. And bailing the cat means that, because sometimes people claim they have bail the cat, but I shut down his spouse. And that causes the situation to get more irate. No, you have to immerse interest and empathy. Yeah, and look for a miserable girl and walk over and say, let me come on, let me. I don't know them are dead for the world. No,
man,
no!
it's so true.
That's true. You speak to something as it relates to that, because when you speak about wanting everybody, I always say it. Nobody got married to live in
misery.
Yes, misery the word is, right? So therefore, at this point in time, I'm still aside of my spouse that I know this is what we want at all,
Right.
So therefore, I am going to be thinking, all right, there's a difference between you saying, okay, you are not, I understand the point and all of that stuff, but I am right. There's a difference between I understand what you're saying, and yes, we want to really come to an amicable solution about this problem. And so therefore, the way in which we deal with it. So, for example, I said to a couple about a week ago, I think they were having a challenge, and they were saying something, and I said to them, sometimes you have to do things differently. If you realize that, all right, then your spouse all the time, you keep complaining about the one thing. Let's say, for example, the shoes is being left at the door, right? I know this evening you come in and the shoes put down at the shoe stand. Why on earth you want to go and dig up the dead and say a long time you should have put the shoes above the center? You imagine how long me I tell you, I look on this evening, me never have to tell you. You could have just make that slide,
You know it,
You can just make that slide. Make that part of the slide, you see say shoes put in the right place. Guess what? You see because me come and me see say in the right place and this me not have it talk. good girl feel nice. So you know what me I go do? Me probably go find something easy that we go probably take a walk. Me I go do a stroll and a stroll evening, you know. But you see, because me see something where me have to talk about, me now go address that. And me now go say, hon, I am so glad you put the shoe. Me not even say nothing about it. Me I think it just because me knowing myself feel happy about it. Me I find a way if it just say yeah. Point that come across and it changes a whole lot of things. And because if I come and say, then imagine all these months and years, me I tell you to put your shoes over this stuff, and that's so long it take for you really. And that's how me that say it actually is like you dig up the dead all over again and you're not seeing anything. And so therefore you're probably all this while you're saying the person you know, listening to you and this that they were listening, but you see at this point in time, this is the way in which you are doing it and the way in which so sometimes when it comes, that's why I love that I said the word is active. It's active. It's not passive listening. It's active. So I'm right there. I'm right there beside you, honey. Me understand that you're upset. And me see it because my husband and I we try to do these things these days. So you see, once anybody upset and all, we find a way to bring it across. So instead of the 2-to-2 argument, we find a way. We find a way to start to do something funny and so as to get this person calm. So it's like we talk about it when we're in our calm state to say, guess what, honey? It's when I realize that somebody's getting upset and irate, somebody are gonna do something dramatic, to at least change the mood somewhere or the other. So if it's driving and somebody get upset, you hear only we get out and say, wait. I want you something where you did get last night never suit you, so you just get angry. So all of a sudden, hey, if you remember about what happened last night, me bust out a laugh, anger gone. So it's like you find something different now because that is our thing of doing whatever, right? No, another couple is, probably it may not be that, never happened last night, so you have to go find something else. So it's like you find different ways because the aim of the game is together, no divorce. That's the aim of the game, And so therefore we have to go do something because when we're angry, are still husband and wife. And until we get there, that is gonna be that when we decide on that to say, if I'm angry, I'm still your wife, whether you like it or not. And when you're angry, you're still me man, whether you like it or not. So guess what? Make we just get over this angriness and just move on. And because we are not, you ain't going anywhere and I ain't going anywhere. And that's one of the things to cultivate and to get ourselves, our relationship to the next level. You have nothing to say?
I tried this method the first time when I met Kim within the first year of marriage. And the whole argument, I used to say to her, listen, if you're upset and at work, you cannot display that to your boss. Now, if your boss says something to you, and you are upset, you're not going to your boss upset. You're going to put on a face, and if the boss says something, you are going to do it. Because you'll be fired. No, it's the same thing with your relationship. You're not going to be divorced. But look at me as your boss, and I look at you as my boss. So for me to be upset, I have to come to you. I need to listen to you, and you need to listen to me. You're not going to say that to your co-workers, right? At work. You're at work, you're not going to lash out and go and behave. No way. And I'm not going to do that at my work either. Now, I'm a drummer, as we explained. On stage, I cannot show anger on stage. Anything go wrong, I have to smile and play. Now, off stage, I cannot attack my band members. We have to deal with an issue. I know that when we deal with the issue, we'll deal with the issue right there. So when we leave now, nobody leave upset. We can't have no more rehearsals. Someone left the band and then something, No. So I said to my wife that, listen, for us to start over, it's difficult to start over. So me now start over. So this is what we're going to do. This has been the first year of the marriage. I said, watch this. If I'm upset, listen to me. Don't be upset with me. And if you are upset, well, for me, as usual, once she upset and she start, I just go silent. I say, when you're finished, then I will listen. So when you're done, the whole works, No, we have this thing that we do. We have the conversation car. 'Cause we travel together, so we have car conversation. So what we have in the car, we don't have it in the bedroom. Our conversation we have in the bedroom, we don't have it talking around the eating table. And what we have in our eating table, we don't have it sitting in the settee watching TV. So we have different conversations for different places. The bedroom conversation is way different. Calm conversation. I don't need no heated conversation. Because when I want to make love, I don't want to make love heated. Yeah? Okay. So I want to make love calmly and nice and we enjoy ourselves. And we know so when we finish, yo, that was oh God, man. If Jesus come and say, hold on, God, hold on a minute, me not done yet. Yeah? So we're having our dinner. So we're having our dinner, we're having a conversation. And I was telling my wife, dinner is business conversation.
Yes.
So once we're eating, we're having a business conversation. So let's start business around the table. If you're watching TV now, no, that kind of conversation kind of set a mood to get up. To get up are some things, a lot of freelance conversation. But in the car, we talk about issues in the car. Because we're together. And we can express ourselves. Nobody listening. No neighbor not listen. Nothing at all. So we're in the car expressing ourselves. So that's one of the methods that we use as well.
Our Lady Paula, man. You know, so you're going to make Lady Paula win. Because yes, she said only two things, man, here. Sure.
No.
And these ladies will come now, so no. But yeah, some solid points here. We're talking about active listening, people.
Yes.
And you know, we chose to pull it apart from communication because I think that most times when people hear the word communication, they hear chatting, and they hear about me getting a chance to express myself. It's helpful to let you know that the listening is about expressing genuine interest in your partner. It's an opportunity for you to serve your partner by just your partner. What you have to say matters to me. I am interested in, and I care about it. I think we have to start mastering this skill. Like, hear me. You see the listening partner of my partner, Daniel. Yeah, I'm gonna listen to you now. I'm giving that space of time, so you can feel free to express yourself. So I think what I'm trying to say is that this thing called listening, we're gonna have to invest more in it. In our relationship and make sure that we're hearing properly. All right.
Listening.
We'll give you 10 last tips. I think we have covered them all. We've covered them. So what are they called? Summary points. We'll give you 10 summary points to remember as it relates to listening in the marriage specifically. You guys can type them down below because we're juggling nicely now. We're the banner them apart. You know?
That's right.
We're juggling nicely. So you write them down. All right. So number one.
You must acknowledge your partner.
Yep.
Eye contact.
And when you acknowledge, when you face the partner, treat your partner like them are the speaker.
Priority.
Let's practice that. You know?
Right.
Yeah. Well, I know when I Sabana them, I want you to demonstrate. Yeah, man. Face the speaker and have eye contact. All right? Yeah, man. Look at. The next thing about it again is that sometimes eye contact can become, someone is uncomfortable with eye contact. So you must know when to not stare, so you can look away, but look back, and not look directly in the eye sometimes.
But not only that, but maintaining eye contact allows you. I think eye contact allows you to see so much deeper.
Yes, man.
It really
because the eye talk or something,
Yeah.
Yes.
Communicate.
I gave a challenge the other day, and I said to some persons, I said, guess what? One of the things is that these days you hardly see couples having a conversation and having eye contact. look into your eyes when I probably think that it is too red and we check it, or you probably say something in my eye, check on it for me. No, I gave a challenge. I said, all right, then 15 seconds, no words, just look. You just, that is something to build up something inside, a momentum right here. Just look, 15 seconds, nobody say a word, nothing at all, and tell me, what do you feel about this whole thing? How do you feel about your partner just by looking at them right there and then for those 15 seconds? And you don't, you know, some of the response you actually get is that, we just feel like we want to something. Oh God, baby, a long time never look at you, miss. A long time never see say you're so pretty, you know.
It's true. You get that.
Yeah. So these things, you know, it's the eye contact thing is mastery.
Yeah.
And until you master it, steering sometimes can feel a bit uncomfortable. What you don't do is look down. Look down says, I am not interested.
Right.
You look away. So look away is different. All right. Because look away could mean I'm looking at your shoulder. Well, what's this? You know, there's an opportunity. You know, look away might mean, oh, yeah. You know, and you're building the person's confidence, but you also show an interest in the person. And little things like that work. You know, it tells your partner that you're taking note of things you would not normally take note of. So don't look down, because look down means you're not interested, you don't care, you can't wait till the person don't chat. And that might not be the truth, but that's what it come across like. So you see, active listening then is a skill. And sometimes we actually have to be taught how to do it. All right. Step number 2 that I want you to remember is listen to nonverbal cues. All right. Pay attention to what the other person is saying with their body language. In other words, look at what they are not saying with their mouth. All right. So as you look and as you talk, you know, hear the thing. Sometimes I'm scared. You know, sometimes I'm afraid. Maybe because some people look sexy and hot. Somebody else said, "Boy, babes, the real problem I'm having is that I'm afraid I'm gonna lose you." So they are making a big thing out of it, but that's really what is happening. All right. So look for those non-verbal cues, and most times you can do something about non-verbal cues. Not everything that someone vocalize you can do something about, because they might vocalize something about work where you have no speciality about. Most times, the non-verbal cue, you are the specialist to handle it. So I want you to know here that an active listener is an expert at handling non-verbal cues. Right?
Yes.
Sometimes non-verbal cues just need an extra hug. You know, to make them have an ask for it. You know, sometimes it's just pulling up nearby. So we're gonna get through this together, honey.
Pull up to me.
Right. So look out for those as you go through. All right. The next point we want to make is don't
interrupt.
That's it.
And then say sometimes people talk well long, but don't interrupt. Practice listening. And all you have to think about one that is curious in your mind.
Man.
So enjoy. But genuinely listen and don't interrupt. Wait for that to pause, because after them talk for a while, they go pause and make you talk, or they might go ask you. So you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Let me give you a joke. My wife will be talking to me in the bed. I'm think she talk long and I want to sleep. So I just go fast asleep. I just say, oh, so when me attack, you want to sleep.
And when that time, you know, him don't talk for half an hour already, you know? And I sat up and listened, you know? So because of that, now, guess what? When we're talking in the bed, I say, look here, you know what you're going to do? No lay down, sit up. You're going to sit up when we talk. Because once we're laying down, when you finish talk, I'm talking to the crickets. Sit up.
And sometimes it's poor practice, you know. I'll tell you why. I have a father who drop asleep once him see TV. And that's just how we are, man. It's because we're not used to listen.
No, you just did it. He answered the question. There you go. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. You answered the question. Women are the better listeners.
No.
God be the glory.
No.
God answers.
See, they're not waiting to them. We're not used to listening to these lengthy, uninterrupted.
All right, lengthy. That's right.
Right. No, because we have to make sure we put it properly because we don't want it to be misconstrued.
Right.
We all right. One thing with men, you will always find mannerism. That's a one thing. If you step on the partner,
that's true.
But we're bridging them reason differently. We're bridging them reason as stints. Short stints so them keep we awake and attentive. Ladies have to give 10 paragraphs before and that kind of thing. So what I meant to say is that we don't practice to listen to these long, lengthy paragraphs without butting in because when we are bridging a reason, you see a little bit, the next man see a little bit, the next man see a little bit, and it keep bouncing around. That's like a football. Yeah, women have to go on the long, lengthy paragraph and we're used to that. So what I'm calling on is that the men know we have to learn to train ourselves to listen to these long, lengthy paragraphs.
Right.
And that's something. So this is why we fall asleep or just get distracted and look for the phone. No matter how you didn't plan to listen, right? All of a sudden, because the paragraph I get long.
Oh God.
So ladies, help you out. Sometimes you have to cut down your reasoning like with Bridget. You have to reason as stints and stages. Cut it, try shorter conversation. You have a lot to say. It's not because we can reason with a friend for 3 hours. We can reason with a friend for 10 hours.
Yes.
One night.
Yeah, because it's different. We have to say something and them have to say something and we have to say it. Keep going, but una no say go. You hear what you will say? You listen for 1 whole half hour because you plan to talk 2 hours.
Oh, good. Then that is but he's not even listening for 10 minutes.
But that's it. The mindset. It's like we already start to live the future. We don't reach it yet.
Yeah,
right.
Look at Lady P, you say.
I should. Lady P.
The way you come around with it and save the day.
No, but it's true. We don't. Babes, you know true. I like when I have short, snip, interested questions.
Yes.
In something, I mean, drop back in something now we had it like a round robin. It feel good. But me I tell you the truth, it's hard, babes. You sit down half hour, yeah. Hear me out, no? This is what yeah.
So true.
And
yes.
Guys, by the way,
you know that it is certain conversations that we have though that we don't have a problem with listening to us for a long period of time.
What is that?
Make we did not talk about how the work was. And if we talk 2 hours, we don't mind listen.
Yeah, because
we listen attentively too.
Yeah, because
so why is it that we talk about something else and for even 20 minutes and I can't listen?
No, but that conversation, both of us going to engage into that conversation.
Because don't miss it, Why we not sit now you talk things are going on in my brain? So snippets of action taking place.
That's
but
right.
When you talk about something that may try if you have interest in it. This is different. I'm already interested.
That's right. Too different.
Start the conversation because I'm already interested in hearing about it. But what you're trying to talk to me about your work is learn for try to be interested. So if you give me too much time, me I go,
yes.
Point taken. Right.
So men, we need to stop do these things and move up and think. It communicates to our spouse that we're not interested. So I'm checking everybody tonight. Yeah, women, me I beg you to cut it down. Start try bounce the reasoning, bounce the conversation. Stop talking to me like when you talk with your girlfriend at work. When you can't sit down and just a galana, and all the other person go, One time. we not do sign language, so we're not good for nothing. All right. So
We don't.
but no, it's two ways. Men, we need to become we need to become active listeners. We need to show that interest and care and stop looking as if we're uninterested in what is going on. Ladies, help me out. Meet me halfway. Make the
Yes.
conversation short, spicy, and engaging. Keep something else alive so that we can keep up in our conversation. All right? All right? So remember again, when we interrupt people, we are going to frustrate them. And like I said, we create the impression that what they are saying is not important. So please, let's work on that. The next point I want to say is that we should listen without judging or jumping to conclusion. Sometimes I think men can be quick at doing this, but true. We saw in the summary that okay, all right, this our we have to step back and allow persons to make their points, make their claims. We need to practice this in the relationship. Let them talk themselves out, say them 2 cents, right? You can express, as Lady P said earlier, what I understand. Is it what you're saying? And most times after you do that, the woman no want a solution for it. One thing I realize with women, most time women can have problem to you, they don't intend to get the solution. They already know it to go fix already. That's another thing. So men have to learn that women don't really want no fix from we. Them no need no fixing. And that's why you can't give a woman a solution and then cuss you. Yeah. So they're not necessarily looking for solutions. They want somebody to hear, someone to understand, someone to listen, somebody to sympathize. That's important. So let's try and see if we can.
I hear that one there.
See if we can actually do that. All right. Number 5, we don't start planning what to say next. Women good at that. Lord Jesus, man. They might listen to you and you can't tell, say, they might plan what to say. Because my wife have a style for make her planning come out loud. Like, she'll listen, but she butt in with something that here. Oh, sorry. Wait, man. Sorry. Wait a second. Because she's already planning so much of what she's going to say next. Just listen. So active listening is about becoming vulnerable. It's not having no answer. This is not your board meeting. No, it's not the regular business meeting. It's listening, elevating the person's interest and the person who you're talking to. Number 6, you must show that you are listening. You do that by sometimes smiling, sometimes nodding the head. The woman them love, they recognize them when they make, the girl them where oh yes, yeah. We don't so love that something, but we have to practice to show some of this. When you do this, it is encouraging the person to keep talking, keep talking. It's saying that what you're saying, I'm enjoying it. Men, well, I don't know how to tell the ladies, and so we really enjoy the 2-hour conversation where they just like, but we have to practice this. So listen, show that interest. Nod, yeah. Because most time when a woman say, yeah, you hear me, I say, that's because you're
You tune out.
Tune out. The connection box cut.
Yes.
And she quickly recognizes it. So it no matter how we try to convince them, say, yeah, me, I listen. Them know a long time, so you really not listening anymore.
What did I just say?
Not,
they can't say a word.
Of course.
So, yeah. So help us out, women. Shorten what you have to say. Or say it in stages. All right. 7th point. Don't impose your opinions or solution. Men, if you don't want to hear, me a go down one. See opinions, leave it out there. Solution, leave it out there. My wife did have a style. She go to work and she and the people them have them calamba. And me say then, wife, me can never get up and do this. And then she turned for me. How me go do that? Yeah. So I have learned to take my emotion out of listening.
Out of it, yes.
But say, I am showing her this moment. So active listening is an opportunity for her to express herself, not to offer opinions. And sometimes the ladies will ask you for opinions, they're skillful, and then bash you with your own opinion. So sometimes our response to when they ask an opinion should be a question. What do you think you should do? Let them start throwing out there what they think, because chances are that they intend to do anyways. And if you keep on arguing with them, you and them are going to now it's going to be fight at work, it'll be fight at home. So we have to change that. All right? Good. I say some women, I said true, and some laugh. They know what true. Men, this is a free week, and we can't tell you the truth. When women focus, they focus. So men, we need to remain focused. All right? If you're finding it difficult to focus on what someone is saying, try repeating their words in your head as they are saying them. You're going to sound tip, So when not take up your phone, nobody text it. Just talk about it. Okay. Yeah, say, like how them a treat your work. Talk about it then. All right. This will reinforce what the person is trying to say, and it will help you to concentrate. Men never talk to them again. Because sometimes 3/4 in a conversation when the lady stop and say, what me say? You don't know. You don't have a clue.
Because of too much something go on one time.
Right. So we have to try repeat now. So we are learning some tips ourselves. We're going to repeat until we remember what we're actually saying. All right. Try to shut out the distraction, men. Like other conversation going on in the room, the fast car we are drive, the game we are playing, and of course, please don't look by your phone. Please, I think when it's conversation time, we should ban phones, especially because we do have short attention span, and the research shows that. All right, so ban the phone just
Turn
for that.
them off.
Yeah, and if you turn them off, then go to turn back on them. Have to go far. Sometimes the phone them have to migrate left in a vehicle or something.
For that reason, purpose. Yeah, right.
Yeah, good. All right, let's hurry up and wrap up. Number 9, my 9th point: ask questions.
We said that earlier.
All right, ask questions, and I think this goes for us men, because the women them generally love them interrogate them. Them come like a detective, anyways. We now need to adapt asking questions, start formulating proper questions. So when we ask relevant questions, it shows that we have actually been listening, and it also clarify what has been said. Okay? And the clarity part now for the woman, because sometimes the woman them jump quick to conclusion. Them feel like them hear what we are saying. And we men, because we're not so good at explaining everything, them hear something, say she hear about rev still in her fear mind. When she could have just asked, did you say I'm supposed to rev? So ask questions, very important. All right. The final tip tonight, final tip is what Lady P said earlier, is paraphrase and summarize. All right. And this is sometimes called reflection. So you are reflecting on what was said. All right. It means you are actively using the information. So we know we love get solution oriented. Here's a way to get active, like you actually come up with some creative solution. Because reflection is almost work. Anybody will do some course at college where you have to write some 1,000, 3,000 word essay reflecting on the entire course, what we're talking about. Right? It's better than to give you an exam. So reflect on all that have been said. Right? Paraphrase, summarize, think back on these things that were said. All right? Very important. Repeating what has been said really shows that you have been paying attention and allow the speaker, your spouse, to correct you if you haven't understood. I think sometimes we restate rather than restate with a definitive position rather than having that opening for persons to correct, so we turn it out in a disagreement. No, that you did say. That here you say. No, try and change it into more of a question format when you reflect it. So this is what I have heard, right? Is this what you have said? So you're also allowing yourself the space to know that, hey, I might not be perfect at remembering everything, but at least I'm saying to my spouse that I'm listening, I value what you say, and I'm interested in hearing everything that you have to say. So, ladies and gentlemen, if we can sum up here, active listening is something we have to practice.
Yes.
We have a lot of old habits. Old habits are hard to break. Them hard to break. But I want every person who are married on this platform today to make a commitment that I know we always twin communication with listening, and sometimes more is done about chatting than the listening part. So it's just like when we talk about praying to God. People think we must have holy power words rather than listen to God. So today, I am giving every couple on this platform, and those who are not married, I want you to practice it with another person. Could be a friend throughout this week. So this week you're going to practice active listening. All right, intentionally, because if we have some poor habits already, the way to correct those is by practicing the right thing. So I want to listen back this program, look back at the tips that we gave today, and try talking with someone or try listening to someone actively this week, and come back next week Sunday, to give us a reflection. Tell us how it did actually feel. I expect it to feel awkward. I expect it to feel awkward, but I am encouraging and inviting you to practice that. All right. So I think we are pretty much at the end. I think we're pretty much at the end. This. All right. So now we're back. All right. I think we're pretty much at the end. So we're getting ready to pray. So you don't know the banners are here. Before they pray though, I want to tell you of their upcoming event. They have an upcoming conference. Give me how did I write it?
The intimacy thing.
Yeah. All right, I got it right here now. All right, so yeah. All right, so it is called How to Rekindle Intimacy in Your Relationship. It is a virtual workshop, but I'll just lend the chance to talk some more about it. There are some things that will be covered in the importance of self-love to a relationship. They'll be covering what intimacy means to a man versus a woman, what communication means to a man versus a woman, ways to build intimacy in a relationship, the importance of sex in a relationship, and intimacy outside of the bedroom. So them are going on whole heap of things that are. There is a cost to this, a small cost. There is 35 US dollars or 4,500 Jamaican dollars. There is a link that Nelly will drop in the chat. If you are interested in being a part of that, please go ahead and grab your ticket and register. So Nelly will put the link inside the chat here and there, and you can access that. All right, so I'll allow the banner to share if they want to add anything to what I've said about this event that they have coming, or if not, they can go ahead and pray. Oh yeah, it's August 14th. Start at 7:30 p.m. Jamaica time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, great.
Yes. So basically, you rightly said what we'll be covering in the workshop, because, you know, in light of what is happening, we really thought that this workshop really helpful for couples today, because a lot of things are happening around us. And so, the aspect of us rekindling, keep the intimacy alive, is somewhat on the back burner. Yes, we may say that, okay, we're living together, I'm cooking, I'm doing all of this, but there's also things that we need to do to ensure, that our intimacy in our relationship continues. We can't allow it to die a natural death because I'm too busy focusing on, building a business, focusing on the kids, that we totally forget our relationship. Because if we do not do something about it, right, if we are not actively participating in our relationship, then we're actually putting our relationship down the drain, that it's going to end with the D word that we don't want in our relationships today. So that's what and first and foremost, that this workshop will be an actively engaging one. So it's not one that I'm going to be coming and talk and talk. It's going to be an interactive session for couples. So it's a couples event. The cost is per couple. And so when couples come, it's not just to come and listen and all. It's going to be you have some actionable steps to take even during the workshop. So you see a while ago when I talk about, we need to focus on each other, contact for 15 seconds. So I gave you a little synopsis of a little bit of the workshop right there. Right. Even after the workshop, you will be having a 30-day action plan for couples. So that you will need to do, like, for example, that staring at each other for 15 seconds. That is today's activity. We have 13 days of it, because at the end of the workshop, you want to know that, guess what? I'm going to be taking action. And so that is a part of it. So that's the bonus part to this workshop as well. And persons can feel free to even reach out to me, actually, at the Multi-Figure Wives Club. That's on Instagram, and it's also on Facebook. And also my contact is also that it can also be shared as well. That person can reach out to me by these social media platforms.
That's right.
You want to go ahead and pray, Mr. Bonner?
I'm not saying something.
Go ahead and pray.
I'm not hearing you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Father, we give you thanks. We give you praise. We give you glory. Lord, we tell you thanks for everything that you have done for us thus far, Lord. And as Lord, we ask you to intervene in every one of us lives here right now, God, who's on this live. Father, touch that person that is on the live. Come through for that person, Father, that prayer that person's pray. We ask you to intervene right now. Father, we give you thanks for this live. May this session be a blessing to all of those who's listening now and who's going to, I don't know if this is going to play on YouTube, so anybody who come up on this feed on YouTube, they will be blessed in the name of Jesus, and for their marriage to be better. Because right now, God, we know we married not to divorce. Because if we wanted to divorce, we wouldn't get married. So we married not to divorce. And you call families in the name of Jesus. Father, you call families. So we put all families in your care, Father. All families in your care. Thank you for everything that you have done. Bless this host. Bless what their name? The Robdons, Father. Continue to bless them, open doors for them, Lord, and for their life. May this live reach billions, millions, trillions of people on YouTube and all the social media. Father, let their social media be one of the greatest social media the world have ever seen. In the name of Jesus, Father, bless us right now, God, and we thank you for our life to come in August. May be a blessing for persons who are about to sign up and who are about to come on board. Father, we tell you thanks for everything that you have done. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. That was the bonus
Yeah.
chilling with us this week, talking about the importance of listening in a relationship. Of course, we want to thank them for coming with us. Also, want to remind you, if you haven't yet subscribed to the program, please subscribe. If you heard something here and it was positive, was good, then you should share it with somebody and invite them back to come back and watch. This is what we do every Sunday evening at 4 p.m. Jamaica, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Please remember to subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. That said, ladies and gentlemen, we want for you to, whether you ride, drive, or simply log off, we want to wish for you a productive rest of the afternoon. God bless to the runners and wonderful care of yourself.
Bless
We
you.
will be connected. Bless you. Take care.
And you will see us soon.
I begin to